morning. Oh, we are live. We are live. We are up. We are breathing. We are kicking. I have made it through another night. We are on day 12. Day 12, family. And we on the third day without water. And all I got to say is whatever is holding you back in your life, it can be overcome. Doing this, if I could do this, my toasters could do anything. I mean, hell, let's just be real about it. And you know what I'm saying? 3 days, 3 days without water, right? Be able to break that tonight. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the other stuff. I kind of mentioned it last night. We'll talk about a little bit more this morning, a little bit more in depth. Part of the journey that got me to that ambrosia is, in the sense, this process and looking at different things for the health. And like I said, always remembering and holding on to those five. Good morning, Miss Amatu. Good morning, Brother Shaka. Good morning, Miss CeeLo. Good morning, Brother Kwame. And good morning, Miss Ruthie Willis. Oh, now I understand. So you watch the video. Does the video line up with what's going on Spreaker? Um, all right. But I want to say good morning to all of y'all. And I survived another night. My wife kicked me about 15 times to make sure that I was alive. I guess I wasn't snoring. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got um, the body not only stores, I guess within the fat cells, it also stores water, right? So, as long as I'm not overexerting myself, I am cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. So, but uh, right now, I'm feeling good. I made it through the rough part of the fast, and now I'm moving on to other parts. So now I'm preparing to break my fast. So part of the ritual that I do is I start preparing foods that I'm gonna be able to eat. So last year I came up with a sourdough made from that ambrosia, right? Yes, what sourdough? See, because now what we got to understand, family, I need good morning, Auntie Loretta. One of the things that we have to understand that before refrigerators, long before refrigerators, we had to find ways to preserve food. And one of the ways that we preserve food was through fermenting. Fermenting is um, a natural process that we learned to harness and learned to use to promote and prolong food. You know what I'm saying? So and we're gonna talk a little bit more about fermented foods. Great Nia to each and every last one of y'all. But let's before we do all that, you know what I'm saying? Even though I can't drink water, everybody else need to drink their water. Unless you doing that fast with me, right? So you are now rocking with the best. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simba production, and of course, you are joining us on the Daily Toast. Simba, get it together, man. Damn it. Man, these mystical animals is just, y'all cost me an arm and a leg, and you can't even roar on time. We strive to blow up your old paradise. An explosion, right? Here we go. Grab your glass. We grown folks, we drink up out of glass here. We're gonna drink that water. We'll be drinking it together tomorrow. Come on. Drink your water. Come on. Drink your water, but take your breath and drink your water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Wow, that feels good. Drink. glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Here we go. Drink, 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 drink. Now, in order, right? Take your breath and drink your water. Lift your glass and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, drink, move, live. Or maybe it's like this. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift your glass and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Break down, break down, break down. But we going to drink, 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 drink. Lift your glass, lift your glass, lift your glass. Alright, family, let's go because we're running a little bit late. I want to make sure I'm able to get you the information that I need to get you this morning, right? Because now, part of the fast piece that when I go through, I always come up with different ideas for food. I always look at different ways of doing food when I come off my fast, because when you come off a fast this long, you can't just jump right in and start eating all of the big heavy shit, right? You can't go back straight to straight sugars, right? Right now, my body is in ketosis, which means that my body is burning fat. And once I get back to the water, my body is going to continue burning fat, which is the best fuel for the body, right? But what is some of the best food for the body? Let's look at real quick some of the best food for the body. All right. So right now I'm looking at an article out of Mind Body Green. I think this was done in like 2012. Right? Yes, it was 2012. One of my favorites. Let's go and read through real quick, because this is 12 ways fermented foods heal your body and mind. Now, this is what got me on to the making ambrosia, right? I started looking into fermented foods, how to ferment foods. You know, actually it started with me trying to make wine. I wanted to make wine, I wanted to make beer, right? But then I said, damn, the health benefits of this stuff is incredible, but I'll never be able to convince parents to let their children drink real beer, because even the beer we drink is not real. I mean, everything that we are consuming are in most cases is a shadow of what it traditionally is, what it should be. Which it should be. I mean, we can't be mad at that. I can't knock the hustle. I refuse to knock the hustle. I understand. You know what I'm saying? In order to keep me where I'm at, they got to be able, and I mean, because in order for them to stay where they are, they got to keep me and mine where I'm at. So how else can you do that? Change the food. Right? You know what they say, you are what you eat. And if you're eating fakeness, then what are you? Brother Kwame say, thank you, CeeLo and Diane, for the clarification of the NFL football boycott. Okay, cool. I gotta go on and look at that. See, some good conversation going on that Gye-Nyame Journey timeline, right? We trying to make that the spot of choice, right? Here we go. Hippocratic. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The father of here we go with that shit. That dude out of Greece said disease begins in the gut. And he wasn't the first to say it. So it only stands to reason that health and beauty begins there too. The importance of good bacteria in the gut is central to this. We want to increase this friendly bacteria, and one of the very best ways to do this is through fermented foods. As a yoga therapist that uses nutrition, I noticed a profound positive shift in my students' health when I began prescribing regular fermented foods as part of their daily diet. Now, this article was written before a lot of the articles start coming out about probiotics. All right. There are many kinds of fermented foods. Most can be easily made in your home by placing some starter culture in a jar with a food base. Alternatively, you can purchase them. See, and this is a whole nother issue, right? They make the shit sound so complicated. Family, listen, what is a pickle? A pickle is a cucumber that's been sitting in salt water. You don't need no starter. The starter is on a goddamn cucumber. You know what I'm saying? It's on a cucumber, right? I mean, when we really doing when we um when we when we start fermenting, you start understanding that everything that you need is within the vegetable. If it's not in the vegetable, there's something wrong because our ancestors didn't have starters, right? The only thing that we talk about as far as fermenting that you need a starter for is that kombucha, right? Is that ambrosia. And I can even tell you, I could teach you how to do that from scratch. Let's say you don't want to get in contact with Mr. Brown. Go out, buy you a bottle of apple cider vinegar, right? Use half the bottle of apple cider vinegar. Listen to me. Listen to me. Use half. I got a young man out there right now, Mr. Jordan Ford. He is one of our brewers. He's not a brewer. He's a fermenter. He's very firm in the fact that he's a fermenter. I'll be like, yo, you a fermenter or you a brewer? I'm a fermenter, right? The SCOBY that I started him off with would come from a bottle of apple cider vinegar that his mom bought to work, and we used half the bottle and we forgot about it and left it in the cabinet. When we pulled it out the cabinet, there was a SCOBY floating in there. All he had to do was take out the SCOBY and a little bit of starter, put it in the green tea with the honey, and start his brew. So Jordan, out of everybody in our circle brewing right now, is the only one with original scope. He's going to have his own original SCOBYs and his own original strain. You understand what I'm saying? Because he started his from a whole nother culture. Right? I got people coming off my culture. He's not coming off my culture. He's able to start his own culture. So I'm gonna get me one of those SCOBYs, right? Give me one. Yeah, I'm gonna give me one of those one of his SCOBYs just to mix in with mine, right? But anyway, so that you could do that on your own. You know what I'm saying? And so now, how do you get to the point where you're able to have apple cider vinegar? You just crush apples, right? You crush apples, you make apple juice, and you let the apple juice ferment. And you let the apple juice ferment to a point to where there's nothing but vinegar left. From there, the bacteria and the yeast will come together with the amino acids and form the SCOBY. And from that SCOBY, you got your own original, right? So the SCOBY was something that our ancestors discovered and figured out, well, hell, if it's eating this right here, what did it do with this juice? What did it do with this tea? You know what I'm saying? It's all about experimentation. But let me go on. I digress. There are many kinds of fermented food. Most can be easily made in your home by placing some starter culture, bullshit, in a jar with food base. Alternatively, you can purchase them from most health food stores. Some of the healthiest fermented foods are kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, apple cider vinegar with mother, kombucha, mixed pickles, and tempeh. Fermentation occurs naturally when bacteria is given the opportunity to transform the carbohydrates into a more complex substance. Time to make this 3 miles. Go on, and the ancestors going to be walking with you because we're about to toast them. Here are 12 fantastic ways taking one meal a day that includes some quality fermented food will heal your body and mind. Here we go, family. Y'all ready? Increase gut flora. This will strengthen the digestion for better elimination of toxic waste through the bowels. Get clean from the inside out and cleanse yourself of the old, which I'm doing. I'm going to show you part of my process. Clearer, smarter, sharper thinking mind. Any dysfunction of the brain is usually connected to what's going on in the digestive system. Many highly regarded healers have cured mental problems through addressing the gut. It is well established that the gut serves as our second brain. Hence the phrase, what are your gut feelings? Have you got the guts? And trust your gut instinct. The gut produces chemicals, neurotransmitters. I don't know. We discussed this before. Like 90% of the serotonin is produced in the gut. I think it's the serotonin that's produced in the gut. You know what I'm saying? You got all types of connections with the gut that most people we don't even understand yet, right? I mean, think about this: depression, ADHD, bipolar disease. You know what I'm saying? Not dysfunction. The bipolar. There's a lot of mental dysfunctions that start in the gut. You know what I'm saying? And of course, if you're not eating real food, right, your brain is your whole system is going to be affected. Your microbiome controls your diet, controls your habits. Once you get your microbiome under control, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be crack, it could be heroin. Once you get control of the microbiome, you can control any habit. Massively boost and heal your immune system. If the bad bacteria overwhelms the friendly bacteria, the maldigested food particles and fungus start to spread around the body. This is often called leaky gut syndrome. This sets off a firestorm of inflammation, which can lead to autoimmune disorders including Addison's disease, celiac, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, lupus, and etc. All these are autoimmune diseases that start, guess where? In our gut. In the gut. Detox. Fermented foods are some of the most potent detoxifiers, capable of drawing out a wide range of heavy metals. The beneficial bacteria grab hold of mercury, lead, aluminum, arsenic, and anything else toxic, holding on to them until they are removed through your stool. Dr. Brother Kwame says, in the Metaneta, the ib or ab is the seat of one's intelligence and emotions, thought to hell in the gut. There you go. There you go. Beautiful skin. Every day you will see your skin improve when you decrease the toxic load and the bad bacteria load. This alleviates pressure on the body to do other things. Connective tissue is able to repair and heal. I've seen my students' beauty shine through. Acne, psoriasis, eczema, and other chronic skin conditions can clear, and the beautiful subtle colors in the face radiate from the inner health. No, we ain't got a lot of different colors radiating through our face. But y'all know, y'all get the idea, right? Y'all get the idea. Don't get confused, all right? Essential for nutrition. If you eat one meal with fermented foods every day, your gut will be dominated by beneficial probiotic species of microbes, and they will start to build and make all kinds of essential nutrients like B12, B6, vitamin K12, and biotin. Some of these can only be made inside of you. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to start adding fermented food. That ambrosia or june or kombucha is considered a food, right? And it provides these probiotics, right? And these probiotics help your body produce things that you need and help keep you sane in a world that's trying to make you crazy. Let me say that again. You know what I'm saying? You can do all the meditation in the world, Go eat you a McDonald's, some fries, or go to one of these stores and buy some of this shit that say organic, right? And not be taking care of your gut flora, which is basically your own garden within your body, is your garden within your body where the microbes are growing, and not take care of that and still be crazy. Y'all seen them. You know what I'm saying? They vegans, you know what I'm saying? They crazy as hell running around here. You know what I'm saying? The theories is off. You know what I'm saying? Everything, you be looking at them like, God damn, you eating all that healthy food, but you a fool. What's going on? You need to eat some meat. That, I mean, your logic is all off. What the? Y'all know who I'm. Y'all probably got something in your life, right? You be like, God damn. I thought you becoming a vegan. I'm not gonna do that vegan shit. Y'all crazy. You keep on eating my fish and cheese and shit. Real. And I'm moving on this time. I'm moving to real cheese, right? So I'm gonna have to be paying some money for some real cheese, right? If you go to the cheese section to buy your cheese, more than likely you're not getting real cheese, family. All right, you have to go to that special place in the store, right? Not the cheese section where everybody else go. The one with the big blocks of cheese, where they actually had the fermentation process and they didn't kill the bacteria in the cheese. You got to go get that, family. You know what I'm saying? We got to, if we gonna eat this type of shit, we got to eat it right, right? If we gonna drink milk, we got to drink it right, right? Yogurt, you gotta get some real yogurt. Go to a health food store and get some real yogurt, cause what you eating right now is ice cream. That's not no goddamn yogurt. That's ice cream. I'm just letting y'all know. This brother, I'm on my third day. I'm dying or whatever the fuck my body is doing, and I gotta let y'all know, because if I don't make it through the day, I don't want nobody to be like, he didn't tell us that. I told you that. That ain't real. That ain't yogurt. Biological enrichment of protein, essential amino acids, essential fatty acid, and vitamins. As we ferment the vegetables, we break down their cellular structure, and they become more nourishing and mineral dense. The protein structure of food is unraveled through fermentation and become easier to digest. So the microbes within the culture breaks down the cellular structure of the food that we're eating and make it easier for us to get access to all the nutrients in the food. So many of the foods that we're eating that we think that we're getting the nutrients from, we're not getting the nutrients that we should be getting. Prime example, nuts. People say, oh, you need to eat a certain amount of nuts a day. And nuts are good. And they are good for you. But you are not, when you eat just plain dry nuts, you are not getting what you are supposed to be getting. Right? Let me say this. You have to let them soak, because nuts are seeds. And the key piece that releases the life energy, that releases the ashe, is when they are wet. So most nuts, if they have not been soaked, right, you are missing over, if not 50%, you know what I'm saying? If not 70%, at least 50% of the nutrition that you need, right? Because this fermentation process and these other processes we're missing, and we're robbing ourselves. We're robbing our health. Food lasts longer. Fermenting has been a way of preserving food since ancient time. Fermented foods generally do not need refrigeration and certainly don't require artificial chemicals for preservation. Quite on the contrary, time actually assists in the fermentation process. Promote weight loss. Fermented foods are stabilizing for blood sugar, which means two things. First, they will balance appetite, leaving you feeling more satiated and less hungry. And secondly, they create a more even and steady release of insulin so that the body doesn't store fat. pH balance. Acetic acid and alkaline fermentation brings, acetic acid and alkaline fermentations bring the blood and vital fluids back to a correct hydrogen level of pH 7.35. In a very acidic world, this is very important. Elimination of anti-nutrients. Food that would normally be unhealthy because of phytic acid get transformed, like soy. Soy is bad for Soy by itself is bad for us as long as it's not fermented, like tofu. I love my tofu. Tofu is not fermented, right? But they do have forms of fermented tofu. I don't know if tempeh would be considered, but tempeh is very similar to tofu, but it's fermented, right? Great taste. You can enrich your diet through a more diverse range of flavors, aromas, and textures in food substances, in food substrates. Expanding your cuisine into new foods goes against the health trend of denying and cutting out delicious and nutrition. Feel free to check out the blog on my website, how to create your own goji berry sauerkraut. Ooh, I think I might throw some goji berries. Let me introduce y'all. Here we go. All right, here's one of my favorites that I like to break my fast weight because I have low iron. So I love beets. So I have beets. My grandmother got me hooked on beets when I was younger, right? I got beets that I'm brewing. In here, I have a mixture of, it's a little bit of bok choy, a little bit of dill, a little bit of parsley. You said ain't eating no damn tofu for no food. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go with the tofu joke. You better leave my goddamn tofu alone. But you know what I think I might do? I think I might try to ferment some tofu. I think I could do that. I could do it, right? But this is beets with beet greens and a few other greens in here. But the difference between this one is that I'm using my ancient, what I call my ancient ambrosia, right? This is the ambrosia of the gods here, right? This is not the regular ambrosia that I put out. See, now this one right here is going to be rarer because this one has been sitting for a very long time. Still got a little fat in it, but almost all of the sugars have been consumed. And this is what I usually leave around my scobies. So what I went in and did was I transferred all of the old ambrosia and put new green tea, and I'm going to allow that to sit with that. And like once a month, I'm gonna go down and I'm taking this out. And this one is good. This one right here, you do shots. You don't necessarily drink all of it. You only have to do a shot. Damn, what just happened? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? This one right here has everything you need. All you gotta do is take a shot. And we're gonna take some shots of this right after we come off the whole water piece. Right? We're gonna have us some ambrosia. Then we're gonna take us a shot. So I'm gonna try to keep the shots handy. And also you can use this for salad dressing. I'm gonna introduce you to the salad dressing pretty soon. And share the recipe with you so that if you wanted to make your own, or if you just want some from me, I could go and get you together on the salad dressing. You may as well defecate in the glass as to put tofu in it and then ferment it. Well, damn, Kwame, you's a tofu hating. You tofu hating. I mean, what tofu do to you? Tofu ain't do nothing to you. Well, I don't know. Maybe tofu did something to Brother Kwame. But hey, it is what it is. And let me see. And then we got this one over here. This one is green cabbage, red cabbage. This one is bok choy, rainbow. What is it? Rainbow what, Cleve? Rainbow Care,
Rainbow chart.
Rainbow Chard. This one right here, and it's soaking in that old ambrosia that I told y'all, that I showed y'all, and I can't wait to. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I'm gonna be able to drink it and eat it. Lord, what? What? This is how I break my fast, family. This how I break my fast, right? So we go and we get the body straight, right? Boom, boom, boom. Start throwing back, and putting all of the probiotics back into my system. Right now, my body is working on what's left. So what happens when you fast? Your body start getting rid of all the shit that it don't need. It start pushing out everything, right? Boom, boom, boom. I don't need your ass no more. I don't need you. We going to no water. We going to the essentials. Cut everything out. Boom, right? So then I come back and I reintroduce probiotics. I start introducing this food. I introduce that ambrosia. I introduce that good water. I introduce the fermented foods. I'm cool for a year. To the next year, I gotta go on and suffer. But hey, it is what it is. So let's do this toast, family. I held you up long enough. We found out that Kwame is a tofu hater, and I could dig that. Bro, I am telling you, my Kwame Ambrosia is yeah. Listen, I'm not taking nothing away from the Kwame Ambrosia. I'm just saying, man, there's different levels to the game, right? There's different levels to the game, right? I'm just saying, this right here, this right here, we don't even have to add nothing to this. And you just take a little shot of that every day, a little shot of that, it's gonna get everything moving. Everything. You know what I'm saying? This is the equivalent of what apple cider vinegar is to the health world right now. You know what I'm saying? This is beyond that. This is beyond that, right? And it's just sitting there. We got it. We got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have samples. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it with a salad dressing too. So we got the salad dressing. So the salad dressing is a combination of that the ancient ambrosia, the some miso soup, and a little black seed, um, and some other spices, right? That we mix together. Boom, for the salad dressing. There you go, right there. Now we got our own salad dressing. I'm not playing. But first, giving honor to the Creator, or whatever name you choose to call that Creator, we lift up our glass and we salute that Creator and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to the stars of the show. And the stars of the show, of course, is those ancestors. So we're going to call on these beautiful beings that allow us to stand on their shoulders. And we call on Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, George and William, Walter, Chris, Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland Geneva, Brown Margaret, Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvara Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman, El Nomo, X, Pat Mott, Ron Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajity, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William, Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Daniel Pullian, the Luxor brother, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Natalie Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rendelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Augusta Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kendi, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quills, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. S. Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Worrells, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Imatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lisa and Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vena Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Battles, Jeanette Saunders, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Baba Naeem, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Bet Vaughn, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staton, Joe Jamel Alls, Miss Vanilla Albers Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Albert Moore, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Vivian Stevenson, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Lester and Rachel Saunders, John Bowie, Alex Nixon, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Woodland and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Melly Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Aunt Becca, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Lee Irby, Tom Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haiti Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Emma McClendon, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Stacy Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parson, Jason Cathy, Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Etta Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbert Longmire, Edith Catney, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Sproutling, Phyllis Lee, Friedrich Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, and Winifred Scantleberry. If you want your family added onto the list, text us at 614-300-1875. All right? Text. Don't call. Text. You can text your ancestors. Hashtag ancestors. Hashtag daily toast. Something like that. And then boom. Put your ancestors up. I got you. Alright? It might take me some time, but I'm going to get you and get your ancestors on the list. Because I think it's worth it to get your ancestors on the list. Alright? Get them in a pretty book. Alright, with that, we raise up our glass and we say Ashe. Alright, family from near. We salute the present moment. And in this moment, we are in Nia. On Nia, we look for, of course, the principle is purpose. The Modic principle is balance. The color is yellow. The Hermetic law is rhythm. If you was born on this day, the male name of the male energy that's flowing through this day is Kofi. If you're a female, it's Afua. All right? What's up, Afua? On African-centered cultural virtue and value system, the emotional emancipation circle, we are on in Warlock today. The virtue of the day is Mandu, being appreciative of what you have, not envious of others. We have Akan ethics, justice, and in Yoruba, we have Titu, endurance. All right? So we lift up our glass, and we say Ashe for this present moment. Activate those reticular formations, family. What we looking for? We're out here hunting Nia. We want the Nia in our life. We want the Nia of everybody that's around us. We want the Nia of the institutions that we work with, that we serve, that, you know what I'm saying? We got to look for the purpose, family. All right? So we can stop living our lives on accident. In the moment, boom, get it. All right? Now, next, we move to the future. So we toast our children, our children's children, on to infinity. We toast them in advance so that they will prosper and be able to turn around and reflect and toast us. And we say Ashe. From this family, we toast all of our relations, and we say Ashe. Right here is for any of your concerns. You got any concerns? If you want to throw them up on the screen, or if you just want to raise your glass at this moment and take this time in this continuum of time and act for what you need, right? One of my older brothers, one of my elders now, Chief Albino, told me, he said, you know, sometimes we need to be a little selfish with our prayers. You know what I'm saying? He said people like us, we spend a lot of time praying and working with others. Sometimes we need to kind of be selfish with our prayers. All right? So this is a moment for you to reflect on what you need in your life. Okay? So those things that you need, we lift up the glass for that. We say Ashe. From their family, we toast the most powerful being in the room. We lift up our glass to you. I lift my glass to each and every last one of you to take the time, to take it serious enough to come and toast your ancestors on a daily basis. Those whose shoulders you directly stand upon. And we raise our glass and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And I wish you peace, power, and joy. And 100 years, family. I will be seeing you soon, tomorrow morning. And we're going to be able to do the water song for real. Whew.